A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this collective reading. I would be using a bit of auto reading, intuitive reading, as well as tarot cards for this session. I'm also focusing on a collective which is pro or more into inner work, and they already have intuitive abilities and telepathic gifts. Some of you could be animal lovers, nature lovers, you feel mission oriented. However, it's been a while that you have been practicing in 5D and now you really want to see some changes in 3D. And 3D has to be also be one of your strengths. So we don't just focus on manifestations when I do therapies, we focus on surrendering, because surrendering to universe is the key to manifestation, or surrendering to universe or God, whosoever you believe in, is the key to union, and union equals to manifestation as well. So let's get started and let's jump right into it and let's find out what divine wants us to know. We're starting with the surrender card. Wow. And we have 10 of cups. So your energy is very good. We have the reversed devil over here. That's nice. And we have the queen of cups. Maybe you worked through addictions in the past and you're learning surrender. And we have the moon. Wow. Moon, and let's see, what do we have? We have the sun. We have the sun and moon. The Sunamoon energy is here as well. But this is a brilliant pile. In my opinion, this is of great wisdom, I must say. You felt stuck or trapped in situations, or you felt unsatisfied, but you derived the power to release yourself from those situations and the unsatisfactory feeling. It's not wrong to be trapped in situations. It's not wrong to feel like you're in a jail or you're in a cage. It's not wrong to feel that you're stuck and you're not free, because until and unless you're not going to feel that way, you're never going to be able to figure out a way to get out of it. So overall, it's an experience. This experience was given to you so that you learn to look at situations from a different angle. Maybe via your programming, you were taught to look at things from one point of view only. But universe or God or source energy wanted you to look at it from different perspectives and see the actual illusion is in how we see it, not in what it really is. And what it really is could be many things or anything. So this teaches you, or this taught you, to pause and to surrender and look at new perspectives, which leads you to becoming a person who has the energy of 9 of cups, where your wishes get fulfilled and the hard time is left behind. New time of happiness and a permanent eternal sort of happiness, which means that, let's say, for 1 year you faced a challenge. It was a major challenge, 1 year, 2 year, whatever, financial challenge, but it really harrowed you. It really bothered you. You felt stuck. You felt trapped. You were like, I'm not growing. I'm not getting anything. But eventually you learned how to get out of it, and that shifted you, that helped you progress in such a way that it gave you a permanent sort of lesson, and it just changed your identity, it changed your personality, it gave you a new shift, and you feel joyful, you feel gratitude, you feel fulfilled, and for many things you are just chilling now. You don't care about how you used to care about it. So 9 of cups is also called a wish card, but it comes from the practice of regular surrender, to a point that one day the surrender comes to you naturally. And with surrender comes the feeling of contentment, satisfaction, and most importantly, freedom from being stuck. Next, you see the reverse devil. This is a card where I feel whosoever has been battling addiction or a mental sort of illness, or they were engaging in some kind of self-harm behavior, you're able to see the light and take control of your life. So, tarot is very interesting. That's why some of the cards, when they come as reversed, they're really positive. If the same card would have come upright or straight as how it is, the devil, then it talks about being stuck in addictions. But here, you've done the opposite. You've become victorious. You've become free. So you see, the first card is teaching you that. Then you have freedom. Then you have further more freedom. You're reclaiming your powers. You are becoming you again, and maybe more of you. And you're understanding life better. And then this is so important to understand that maybe you're restricting yourself from certain experiences. Let's say what's coming to my mind, because this is also about sexuality, that you always felt that doing something is a sin. Maybe some religious thought was given to you, or your parents felt like that. They used to go to a religious institution and they were taught to be like that, and then they passed it on to you. However, what God wanted you is to see that experience just as an experience, not as a negative, positive experience. And you reclaim it, you see it in a different way now. And maybe before that, before you were actually able to understand it fully, you were seeing it as something really bad. And that way you were punishing yourself and you were stopping from exploring it fully. That could be the thing. Now this addiction story, I find it interesting because abstinence is not really quitting addiction patterns. Abstinence is sometimes, in fact, doing the opposite to people, because they try to abstain from things, they give it labels, they give it names, and then they suffer. Let's say you want to eat something, you know that okay, you can have a certain lifestyle, but you still feel like your body needs it, or whatever the atmosphere you live in needs it, then it's a medicine for you, that particular food habit. Because we have reversed addiction here, or reverse devil here, I would like to add, for anyone who's interested in this subject, that when you have any addiction, it means you cannot live without it. You cannot survive without it. You're extremely dependent on it for basic things like being happy or enjoying yourself. You say, if I don't have a drink or two, or if I don't do this or do that, I cannot move ahead in my day or days. But even abstinence can be very difficult. Let's say you need something as per your weather, environment, or your body, but you don't give it to yourself. You live in really cold regions. I met some people from Russia, and they were telling me that they don't have any sun over there, or very little sun where places they live in, and they need to drink something like brandy or rum. It keeps them warm. They are not drinking all the time because they want to drink. In fact, drinking beer for them is a bit tricky because it's a bit colder drink. So if it's really cold, they have to go out in the snow, and if they take 1 or 2 shots, or let's say brandy or some warm kind of alcohol, then it cannot be seen as a bad thing. Then it's a medicine, or it's probably something that's good in that environment. I saw one movie about a mathematician who had gone to the Western country, and he was living in this really cold place, and he was a vegetarian. He was from India, from the East, and they just could not eat meat over there back then. So many people told him that you must eat meat to survive, or drink something to survive, but he didn't. And he caught pneumonia, and he died at a very young age. A very brilliant mathematician died because he was not able to change his belief as per the requirement. And I'm not saying you should all become non-vegetarians, but you can take something that is closer to you. Like if you can't eat chicken or mutton, you can probably have fish in such places. If you don't want to drink alcohol, then you can have a shot of, or 2 spoonfuls of brandy, or take it as a medicine, not that it is going to break your faith or belief, not that you are going to depend on it. So abstinence can also be a problem. Abstinence itself can be an addiction. So someone was the other day asking me that I feel like eating eggs. I was like, go for it. If you want to eat it, if you think your body needs it, you don't have to torture yourself that I cannot eat eggs and it's bad because I'm eating eggs. Now, if you go to the villages, in villages they know which egg is coming from ovulation and which egg is coming from mating. Because some people are not eating eggs because they feel that it has life in it. And when you know that there is no life in it, then it becomes less of a problem for some people. So people are very careful. And I remember once I had gone to my auntie's house, and they had this hen who used to lay an egg every day. And she would break the egg on her own because it was not an egg that had life. So the hen thought that it's waste of her time to sit on it and keep it warm. The hen is that intelligent. So what they would do is, before she would break the egg, they would take it out from the nest and use it for food. This and many examples are there, So I personally feel that we should do what's important. Like in India, if you wear suits and saris, it can be really cold. In winters, or you go out to a cold place and you start wearing suits and saris, it would be cold. So my master would say that, be act like a Roman when you're in Rome. So there's one of the ladies, she used to wear a lot of traditional clothes or Indian clothes, but when she was moving to the West for a job, my master actually took that student for shopping and got some clothes that, look, you can wear jeans or you can wear these kind of clothes. It is warmer and it is far more comfortable. It will keep you good. Like you wear overcoats or you wear something which is, as per the area and location and situation. You don't have to force yourself to be a certain way, especially if it's making you uncomfortable. We were also taught when we would go for sadhana, which is deep meditation, we were not given any food after, let's say, lunchtime, and lunchtime would happen at 11 or 12, and there's no other job you're doing. You're not doing anything else. You're just meditating. So you get your breakfast at 6:30 in the morning, then you get your lunch at 11, and after that, we were just given lemon water in the evening or very light tea if someone wanted. Nothing along with it, especially if you're an old student or somebody who's been into deep meditation and doing nothing else. But if I would go as a volunteer to the same place, they would tell me you need meals because you're going to be running around everywhere. Even though you're going to be meditating, but your focus is to serve other people. So you need all your meals. You want to sit still for the whole day. Starting from 4:30 in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning, and you eat a lot of food, you cannot meditate, you cannot sit because the food is not going to allow you to sit. So you see, even in a meditation center, even when you're doing this kind of work, you're given sattvic food, but that also is been given in a way that it manages your requirement, your body requirement. Very good monks know this. So they don't teach you total abstinence. Buddha also said, initially he used to be on total abstinence, but later on he said, don't do it. Doing that can be harmful for your health or your body or your mind. It could be also possible that while watching this reading, you could be struggling with some kind of guilt, or you could be struggling with reclaiming your power. And maybe a mental thought pattern is holding you back from understanding that whatever steps you're taking is fine for you right now. Okay? Looking at the job you're doing, looking at the work you're doing, there's no judgment. But if you're doing something, then you need to be conscious and aware about it. So that's why these words are literally flowing. And you see, you have the Queen of Cups right after that, which means you are more in control of your emotions, you're caring, and you're also emotionally stable while being intuitive. Because you have to have that emotional factor. Sometimes we feel that being oversensitive or being emotional is a bad thing because people become hypersensitive. The only thing is, the reason why they've become like that is because they were not taught to understand their own emotions. Why you are intuitive? You are an intuitive person because you're good with details. But when you block yourself, you get distracted, and you're more focused on the negative feelings most of the times, and you're reacting to the negative feelings, you would not be able to see your gift for what it is. Maybe you have clairvoyance, maybe you have clairaudience, maybe you are really good in reading people's energy. But if you're just focused on one aspect of it, you're going to always pick up the bad stuff and it's going to drain you. And this happens with a lot of healers, readers. Some readers and some healers I've seen, they never listen to you when you have negative stuff to say because they're actually protecting themselves. They'll totally ignore you, or their body language is such, or their behavior is such that you will actually feel like you're talking to a wall when you're sharing something negative with them, because they've trained their mind enough or trained themselves enough to block it out completely because they feel that it drains them and there's no point getting drained. And they also are so intuitive that they know that after 2 months or 1 month or 15 days, you're going to find victory over it. So they're also trying to ignore you when you're speaking all the time negative stuff. They're trying to remind you or tell you that you don't need to focus on this because this is not going to serve you. This is going to distract you and this is going to take you far from whatever needs importance. And then please come back to whatever is needed, because this is all bullshit and nonsense. Don't give it power is what they're trying to do and say. They can come across as people who don't give a rat's ass sometimes, but actually they do. They want you to shift your focus from all the bad stuff. They want you to release the bad stuff and don't give it any power or energy and continue to live your life and enjoy your life. So this way, reversing the devil card energetically gives you more power to your intuition. is what this means. Because you're so focused, when you're focused on the codependencies and the addictions and the reactivity and this and that, you can never fully understand the gift you have, your ability. You need to literally close these two eyes that see the world, because they're going to make you see in only one specific way, which is the negative way. This is what programming does to you. Programming teaches you to mostly be negative. They are not telling you to be in balance. Next, you see the moon. Now you see the moon card. This is one thing that I always tell people, that if you just fix the sun and the moon, you don't need to worry about the other planetary positions in your horoscope. Focus on your sun and moon, which means focus on your intuition and logic. Focus in the right way. So let's say something about a person or a situation is not what it appears to be. I mean, you can see it in a certain way. Let's say you look at a person and you feel that this is a good person, the person loves you a lot. Let's say your specific person, you're in a relationship or you're married to someone and you love this person, you really like this person, you see them in a different way. But at this point in time, their behavior, or let's say intuitively you know that this person is going to change and this person is going to treat you really well. But currently, they're treating you horribly, you feel so. Or maybe it could be because your programming is such, your own perspective is such, your own reaction is such, you can't see this person in a positive light. You need to trust your instinct, you need to trust your intuition to see past as whatever it does not seem to be. Now, this card can sometimes be seen as a negative card. A lot of people do see it as a negative card. They feel that there's a lot of fear, anxiety attached to it. But it's not the same in this context, looking at all the other cards surrounding it, and especially the next card, which is the sun card right after the moon, is telling me that things are going to be positive. I mean, whatever you can see, in this case, you can see the positive stuff, which is more close to you knowing about certain things, which may not be as per the 3D reality, as per the 3D world. It could be all wrong and nonsensical and stupid and not going to give you any profit kind of thing. It's going to put you in trouble, but you don't see it like that. You're flowing with the water. So it could be negative as per the world, but it could be positive. Like, you can see it's going to turn into positive stuff, which is what it's going to be. Eventually, you will have more positivity in this situation. You'll see the fun side of it. You'll feel warm about it. You will have success, energy, vitality. And whatever problem you feel or you're facing right now, that problem is going to melt away with time. So from that perspective, yes, this particular pile, as I said in the very beginning, is all about going through problems, situations, difficulties, complications, but turning it into something that suits you, your growth, prosperity, success, and most importantly, learning the right lessons, very interesting lessons, brilliant lessons on life, and then overcoming them, and then looking back and saying that, okay, it looked so tough back then, but now it's absolutely fine. So maybe period of hardship. Let's say 2025 was a tough year for you, very, very tough. I was told by somebody the other day, which resonated with the collective actually, or with all the people I've worked with, that they had very bad situations to deal with, but they overcame it, and now they're grateful to God that those situations were given to them to deal with. So be it difficulty in surrendering, or difficulty with addictions, and then difficulty with the negative stuff that you were focused on, the illusions, the fears, and learning about the reality behind it. Thank you so much for being here with me for this reading. You can also get my book, In the Name of Love, A Journey of Finding Your Ultimate Soulmate. I am making this book available for more and more people now, because I feel it's time that the collective energy of unconditional love and love between men and women in relationship format has to increase. But inner work has to be the key. Inner work has to be your goal in life in order to see big changes, big shifts, really big shifts that make you become more and more open to miracles and the positive aspect of life. Because so far, due to to your programming, you have been more focused on the negative things. You have been more focused on suffering. You have been more focused on misery, which is why you attract separation related experiences more. Now is the time to let go and look for miracles and magic in day-to-day life. So I will see you in the next one. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.